Okay, I will begin my speech in three, two, one. Imagine trying to run a case as a party in a debate when you fail to fulfill your obligation to cater to the best interest of your students. Okay, for today's debate, I'll be mentioning about why side government's arguments was completely false, and I'll be doing some rebuttals and two arguments for this. So, firstly, I'll be moving on to the rebuttals. So, the first speaker from side government mentioned about how like they're using tofu as the replacement for proteins. But do you know that the tofu proteins you compared to the normal standard proteins is like two complete different things. The animal proteins are known as complete proteins. They are complete, and plant proteins are more considered as incomplete protein because they don't have the complete amino acid. They are lacking the amino acid to be called as the complete proteins. Now, they also mentioned about how these students can bring their own like parents has easier time to prep vegetarian foods like but some students they are not some students just doesn't have that time to every morning to prep their own food to bring to school. That's why canteen that's why that is what the canteen are for. We need the canteen um to have a proper nutrition so that those students that are incapable of having the time to make their own food to bring to school, and they can go to the canteen at their school to buy the nutrition they need. If you're saying you just remove the protein from the canteen themselves, then they are only eating just like vegetarian meal that is lacking the nutrients they need. A proper diet nutrition consists of proteins, whole grain fruits and vegetables. So if you're just saying you're gonna remove the healthy protein and just leave a whole bunch of carb and vegetables and fruits, the students are that is gonna make impact on the student growth because proteins are a very key source of nutrient. Now, moving on. Now that is my rebuttal. Now, moving on to my arguments. So for my first argument, they mention about, and for my first argument is students can be picky eaters. Not every student enjoy eating a plant-based diet. There are some big if you count like currently the generation of students, they much prefer to have a source of meat. And this can also be, and why is this the truth? Because a lot of schools have athletic students, and most of the school have athletic students, and they need the proteins that they get from their diets to build more muscle, and this can impact on their performance on the daily sports. And why? And there's another downside to changing the school to only serving vegetarian meals. This can also make because since students can be picky eater, it's going to cause a lot of waste of foods, and waste of food isn't a good thing. And waste of food is just going to be a hassle to throw, and it can be rotten, and it can bring rats that can bring a lot of bad diseases. And now moving on to my second argument. My second argument is that let me see that the second my second argument is that um it's a freedom of choice for no it's not for my second argument is that uh the uh sh- it won't be how to say for my second argument is about like how you there also okay. Sorry for this, but I'm gonna go back to my battles. They mentioned about how this is like a cultural condition, and some culture like they mentioned about how culture is like some culture is about eating only veggies. But have you think about like what about the other culture that meat is a staple part of their meals? And if you just eliminating it, you basically also not respecting the diversity of the culture. So it's like a count. It doesn't make sense for your that culture thing. You also and now, going back to my arguments, sorry for the sudden change to the rebuttals. The okay, well, vegetarian diets can be healthy in themselves, But you need to ensure that a proper meal in themselves need to have protein, iron, and vitamin B12 because the other nutrient how to say the other nutrients can be more complex. Like vegetarian have more complex nutrients. Well, if you have a meat type of protein, it's more simple and it's only protein and just iron and vitamin B12 that is needed for key growth. And it's very and school needs to be more mindful of this type of nutrient growth. They cannot just eliminate food uh, meat from the canteen themselves and expect you to bring it from school from your own home. That is for my second argument. My second argument is saying so, again, some students doesn't have the time to prep the meat and it's gonna be a hassle. You need to cook the meat, you need to do all this, and you need to bring to school that every day and every morning you need to prep the meal yourself to bring to school, and it's just gonna take a lot of times, and some student doesn't have that type of time to do this. And another is for my last and final for my sec my, uh, and also my some students okay, now going back to my second argument, my first argument about how students can be picky eaters. Some students also are not willingly to go for this newest vegetarian option because they are from child they are known to be eating meat to grow up, and if you just change it to a vegetarian options, no student is gonna accept this, and this could also lead to food to nutrient unwell received. And and I think and also how like I want to okay I think that is gonna be my speech, and with that I'd like to end my case.